Yo, what up, Wolfpack? This is the Blind Wolf, and we back at it again. I'd like to thank everybody that subscribe, like, share, comment on these videos. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All right, come on, Wolfpack, let's go on this journey. Y'all know I lost my eyesight July 7, 2007 while I was in prison. Well, after losing my eyesight, I really started doing a lot of looking into blindness and, finding out so many different things that I never really thought was going on in this world. Like, you really wouldn't believe it. Today we're going to talk about something that's, a little different than what I've been talking about before, but I really truly think that this is something that's direly needed to know. Like, this is something that needs to be put out there, because these are things that are going on a regular basis, and our children need our help. Our children need us to stand up for them. Well, I'm gonna start this off with rest in peace to this 3-year-old baby who lost his life in a horrific way. There was a family in Detroit, mother, 3 children, 2 children had all of their faculties, from what was told in the news articles that I read. And she had 1 child that was blind. She actually took the blind child and put the blind child in a freezer. The blind child died in the freezer. 3-year-old baby. Now, as an adult, we know that freezing to death is a very torturous, painful way of dying. I just think to myself sometimes, like, what was going through the mind of this mother that made her put the disabled child in the freezer and not harm the 2 with all of their faculties. This is something that's really boggling my mind, and it had me gone for the last couple days, and I don't understand where her mindset was. There's no way that I can fathom that, because, it's not for me to understand. Because first of all, I'm not harming my child, period. Let alone a child that's defenseless, can't see what's going on, and is expecting you to be the one to be there to protect this child, to nurture this child, to make sure that this child has the advantages that they deserve in this life. We really need more people to stand up and be a part of the lives of people who have children with disabilities. And not saying that the parents, are bad people, but make sure you really taking a look at them and checking out their mental stability with what they're dealing with as a parent with a child with a disability, because that's important too. Because if that parent becomes overwhelmed and nobody is really noticing, and this great burden of being a part of somebody else's life 24/7 can kind of be overwhelming for some people. And I'm not giving this as an excuse, because it's definitely no excuse for harming a 3-year-old baby. It's nothing that you can tell me that baby did to deserve any type of harm, especially in that particular fashion, to where as though this child has lost their life in a freezer. So start looking at some of these parents out here with the children with disabilities, and be more of a family knit community, because it's needed. Some of that pressure needs to be relieved from off of some of these parents who really can't deal with this situation alone. They might be able to deal with it better if they had a community that really cared, that really took the time out to say, you know what, we're going to fight for the fact that all children deserve the greatest opportunity to blossom and bloom into whatever it is that they can become in life. No child deserves to die by the hands of their parent. No child deserves to die by the hands of any man, period. Most especially your parent. You look to your parent for comfort, for teachings. Some of us want to grow up and be like our parents if they taught us things that really stuck. And I'm not saying all things are the right things, but just being there, being a part, and showing that unconditional love. Sometimes in the worst circumstances, you know, you breed something that you really don't want to breed, but you do what you got to do for where you are in life. But not taking our babies' lives. Where we are in life, we just got to fight through it. We just got to fight through it. Now, this particular mom, she received 35 to 60 years in prison for the murder of this baby. I just hope that everybody send prayers up for this baby, you know, to receive some of the highest blessings that one can receive in heaven. So let's stick together as a community, y'all. Let's you know, put a lot of this bull crap aside, you know, thinking that it's funny to play with people that have, you know, certain disabilities or are unable to keep up. Let's put it into our mind, what if it was you? What if it was somebody that you really, really loved that was going through the most horrific daily torture? Put it into your mind that it could be somebody that you love. Put it into your mind that it could be you. And let's make a stand and let's be there for the people that actually need somebody to really stand up for them. And that's our babies. Our babies need us no matter what our situations are. These babies need us as adults, us as those who have been through the trials and tribulations of life, well, some of the trials and tribulations of life, and know what's coming. Stand up for these babies out here. Stand up for them. Fight for them. They deserve a fighting chance. You actually had the opportunity to become an adult. Don't steal that away from no baby. And I don't hold any sympathy whatsoever towards anyone who causes any sort of harm towards anybody that's unable to defend themselves. Disabled, a child with a disability is, in my opinion, you're the lowest of the low if you can harm a child with a disability. And I have no mercy in my heart for you. But I'm not trying to be like you either. Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to not be like the one, it's to not be like your enemy. I'm not trying to be like my enemy. I'm trying to do something different than my enemy. I want to be there for these babies. And we need to build a community of people that's going to be strong and be there for these babies. Teach them that they have great potential. They have the greatest opportunities in the world, because this is a era of great technology. Sad to say, not an era of great feeling for people. There's really no feeling for people. And there's no feeling for people with disabilities to a greater degree than there is no feeling for people that can, well, people that have all of their faculties. No one respects each other anymore. The city that I come from, people call each other dummy like it's a a great greeting. That's crazy. We used to fight over stuff like that. Being called stupid, being called dummy. We got to grow into a more feeling era, a more feeling group of people for our people. Remember, y'all getting this from the Wolf, and these is real life stories, things that are happening in our society. And I have a few more stories coming up about some of these children with disabilities that are being treated horrifically. Y'all stay strong. Y'all know that it's big love only coming from the Wolf. And remember, Marcus Aurelius also said the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Have some happy thoughts. Make a quality life so we can have happier children and a quality life for these babies that's coming up, and let them know that we here and this the Wolf Pack. We ain't getting ready to stop. Ain't no stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. You heard me. This the 410. Holla at your boy. Wolf Pack in the